What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Tuesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. Just 5 games on the main slate tonight. It's not looking like the best slate, considering we also just got a ton of questionable guys for the Timberwolves, and that's the late game, making this slate just extremely difficult all around. But we'll find a way, as we always do. Been running too hot in NBA. Last night, not our best. After hours fell short. The cash team on the main slate did really well, but that was about it. Let's have better overall results tonight. The best game on the slate as of right now by a pretty large margin is the Rockets and Wizards for value. We do have Kyle Kuzma questionable in this game. But outside of that, the Wizards have a bunch of guys out, so we got to take advantage of that value again. We had to do that against the Celtics last time they played on Sunday, and that was obviously more uncomfortable because it was a bigger blowout risk. Tonight, they're 9-point underdogs at home against the Rockets, so a much better chance for them to stay in the game. So, as usual, I'm going to give you guys 5 plays, 1 for each position, using FanDuel salaries. Most likely going to play the after-hours slate at 8 o'clock for the Mavericks and Spurs, Nuggets and Timberwolves. Hopefully we get the Timberwolves news by then, but I'll be posting the after hours on my Dub Club. Again, if you don't know what that is, the link is below this video for $1 sign up for the first week. It's where I post all my extra betting content outside of the main slates. Very beneficial to you and to me. It's an easy thing for me to post on. So excited to run through that, especially going into the MLB season, which I didn't even know they're playing tomorrow. The Dodgers and Padres are playing in Korea for 2 games, regular season games. I did not know that. Doesn't really affect us, in the DFS streets because, the single game contests are really bad. You can't really do a main slate. So, kind of interesting that's playing at 6 a.m. Eastern because they're in Korea. So we won't even be awake while that game's going on most likely. So. Kind of wild, and then we got, the real MLB opening day in just over a week, so let's get, ramped up for that. I got my early bird deal still going, but not for much longer, probably towards the end of the week, so take advantage on that by messaging me. We'll be providing plenty of MLB content. We had our best season in 2023 over any other sport last year for MLB. So going right into my picks, Jordan Poole. Looks good. He's elevated to 6,900, but for good reason. He's been playing a lot. No Tyus Jones, no Denny Advia, and a few other guys they don't have. So Jordan Poole's going to start. He's going to play big minutes, assuming that this game stays close. He played shockingly really well in just 23 minutes against the Celtics. He kind of lit it up for 31 points, 38 fantasy points. Needs 34 to hit value tonight. He's projected for like 36. Point guard and shooting guard eligibility on FanDuel, so it looks like a really good play in the middle tier range. I know it's Jordan Poole, he's had a terrible year, but if you look at his game log over the last couple of weeks, he's been turning it on a little bit. They need him to. His usage is through the roof, and then obviously if Kyle Kuzma is also ruled out again, it's just going to open up more usage and value for this Wizards team. So Jordan Poole looks pretty good against the Rockets tonight at home. Shooting guard going on the other side of this game. I mean, it's such a bad main slate here tonight that, the Rockets and Wizards game just stands out a ton. We're going to want to get to it a bunch. Jaylen Green at, how much is he? 7,900. His price has also gone up, but also for good reason. With no Alperen Şengün, all of these Rocket starters see a huge bump coming off of 2 great games, 47.5 fantasy points and 53. Matchup couldn't be any better. Obviously, the Rockets side of things in this game is a little bit better because the Wizards defense is hot garbage. So we're going to want to get to our Rockets tonight. Basically, every slate the Rockets have been in since Şengün got hurt about a week ago, we've wanted to target these Rockets. Their prices have gradually gone up a little bit, but still not enough. 7,900 looks good. Needs 39 fantasy points to hit value. He's going to be a huge piece of the Rockets' offense tonight. Small forward, no Denny Advia. We're looking like we're going to see another start out of Justin Champagnie. He looks great again, 5,200. He's a guy that hasn't really been playing in his NBA career so far. His twin brother on the Spurs is the guy who, starts and, doesn't do much. But a lot more usage for the other twin brother in this, situation with the Wizards. If Kyle Kuzma is in tonight, it's obviously going to take away from him a little bit. His price isn't exactly cheap anymore. $5,200, a very, very similar play to the guy he's going to be starting to next to, and that's Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert he's the same price, $5,200. A little butthurt over him last game. Really screwed us. 7 fantasy points against the Celtics, but again, that was a tough matchup. He's probably going to start again tonight with no Denny Advia. They're very, very similar plays, but I'll go to Champagny in this video because he's been playing well over the 2 games where he's, actually seen a real role on this team. 25 minutes, 36 minutes, scoring a bunch of fantasy points. He looks pretty good to get 26 fantasy points to hit value in this matchup against the Rockets. Power forward, we're going to go back to the Rockets. Jabari Smith, the cover photo of this video, looks great. He's been, a little bit disappointing in the absence of Şengün. He's probably going to start at the 5 again. They played the Wizards on the 14th of March, and they have no problem putting Smith at the 5. Granted, when they played the Wizards last time, Richaun Holmes was out, so they started Kuzma at the 5. Holmes has since come back from his injury, and he is starting, but I do still think they'll start Jabari Smith at the 5 because he can play as a big man. He's a good rebounder. Coming off of a really good game last game in a tough matchup against the Cavs, 41 fantasy points. He only needs, we were picking him before in the low 7,000s. Now he's dropped to 6,800 after a good game. Kind of doesn't make any sense. Needs 34 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected for like 36 tonight. I got his Prize Picks square really early. I posted it in the Discord. His fantasy score on Prize Picks was like 31.5, and it was just, way too low. I can double check to see what it is now, but he's projected for over 35 fantasy points tonight, so it's one of the better edges that I found on Prize Picks earlier. His fantasy score is still 31.5. If you're over on Prize Picks, I do suggest you going over and playing that square. It's just too low of a fantasy score for Jabari Smith with no Şengün in this matchup against a really bad Wizards defense. So definitely get over to Prize Picks and put him in a ticket if you haven't yet. Then for center, really bad position tonight. We do have Jokic and Doncic on this slate, but it's going to be really hard to spend up for either one of them. Doncic is questionable with a hamstring. So that obviously matters. Hopefully we get that news before lock. If he were to miss, it would open up some value for the Mavs. But like I was saying, the Timberwolves coming out with questionable guys to their 3 best players tonight. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and now Naz Reid, who hurt his head and didn't come out at halftime last game. Who knows what they do. It's a 9 o'clock Eastern game. It's going to be really hard to prepare for, but center's a really bad position outside of Jokic, and it's going to be hard to spend up. So Wendell Carter looks like a guy we can kind of get away with at 5,900. Bad game last game against the Raptors, but before that, 38, 31, 28 fantasy points. He's projected for like 26.5, 27 tonight. Needs 28 to hit value. Again, center's such a bad position. We can expect him to play 25 to 27 minutes. It's a really, really good matchup against the Hornets. And he can be a fantasy point per minute guy for sure at home against the Hornets. So not the worst play. Again, center is a really, really bad position. Maybe we get that Timberwolves news earlier than we expected, but outside of that, maybe Claxton. Tougher matchup against the Pelicans, though. I don't really know what to do as of right now in the early afternoon. But Wendell Carter, that could easily change. He's by no means like a must play, but a guy that he's serviceable at that price at a poor position tonight at 5,900. So things could always change, though. That'll round out these plays. Give this video a like, guys. Let's have a nice Tuesday. It's a tough slate, but we'll grind through it as we always do. And get over to my website later on for the main slate content, 30 minutes before lock-ish, around there. And we can get after the NBA games tonight. Till next time, thanks for stopping by, guys. I am the FD Guru.